In this video, we'll be testing this Teton Sports Mountain Ultra one-person tent for its ease of setup, takedown, spaciousness, comfort, and more. I bought this tent from Amazon. Here's what the outer packaging looks like, and here's me unboxing it. Inside the package, this is what I got. This gray carry bag, 2 compression straps, the tent body, this gray rainfly, the pole in a separate carry case, 8 stakes, and 2 guidelines in this other carry case, and some instructions as well. I put affiliate links below if you want to check it out. To set up this tent, first unfold the tent body and stake down the 4 corners of the tent lightly. After that, grab this single orange pole and put it together. Then connect one end of the pole to the 2 grommets on one side of the tent. After that, go to the other side of the tent, pick the pole up, arch it, and connect the other side of the pole to the other 2 grommets. Then locate the 6 black pole clips on the tent body and connect them to the orange pole. Now connect this short pole to the 2 grommets at the top of the tent. Next, look for the red webbing on the rainfly and match it to the other red webbing on the tent body. Then drape the rainfly over the tent. Before buckling the rainfly up, attach these 2 Velcro strips on the underneath of the rainfly to the orange pole. Now fasten the 4 buckles of the rainfly to the 4 corners of the tent and also tighten each buckle. After that, you can restake the 4 corners of the tent and stake down the vestibule at the front of the tent and also the rainfly at the back of the tent. Next, attach the 2 guy lines to these 2 loops on the outside of the rainfly and then guy it out. Lastly, open up the rainfly vent. Altogether, it took me just 4.5 minutes to set up the entire Teton Sports Mountain Ultra one-person tent on my own, and here's a full time lapse of it. Taking down the tent is just the opposite of the setup, and it took me about 5.5 minutes for the entire takedown and pack up. For more details on the setup, takedown, and pack up, I have this separate video on my channel. The peak height inside this Mountain Ultra one-person tent is about 38.5 inches. For someone of my height, I was able to sit up and even sit upright at this peak height without my head touching the top of the tent. So I was able to use my Sea to Summit pad, which is about 1.5 inches thick, no problem at all. The rest of this tent doesn't have this peak height though. The walls slope downwards towards the sides of the tent. The length inside this one-person tent is about 81 inches and the width is about 32 inches. Because I'm not very tall at just 5'3", the length of this tent was more than enough for me. But I think if you're taller than 6 feet, this might be a bit of a tight fit. As for the width, this can fit a regular pad like my Sea to Summit pad, no problem at all with some leftover space, and it can even fit extra wide pads. One thing I really liked about this Mountain Ultra tent is that the side walls of the lengths of the tent are almost vertical because of this short pole and the 2 tent grommets at the top of the tent, which hold the tent body up really well. Here's what the side wall of the tent looks like from the inside of the tent, and this is what it looks like from the outside of the tent. Notice that it is almost vertical from the top all the way to the ground. With the rainfly in place over the tent and the front staked down, I got a nice vestibule area, and the longest width of this vestibule area is about 25 inches. This was more than enough space to fit my flip-flops with lots of leftover room. Because the vestibule comes with 2 different loops, you can stake down either loop, and this allows you to open either side of the vestibule like this. Or if it's not raining and you want easier access into your tent, you can unstake the vestibule completely and tie up the fabric of the vestibule with these 2 latches right here. And this will give you access to the single door of this tent. If you want to leave the door open for more ventilation, you can tie the door fabric up with these 2 latches near the top of the tent. When opened, this door has a longest length of about 44 inches and a longest width of 32 inches, so I found it to be pretty big, which makes getting in and going out of the tent pretty easy. And when the door is closed, you'll be protected from bugs with this really fine micro mesh. To open and shut the door, you can use these 2 really smooth zippers. For storage, there's one small pocket here near the door, which measures about 8 by 8 inches. You also get this pre-attached gear loft at the top of the tent, which measures about 14.5 by 14.5 inches. 3 sides of this gear loft have been sewn directly onto the tent, so you can't remove this gear loft, but the last side of the gear loft has an opening for you to fit a little bit of gear. Sadly, there's no lantern loop in this tent, so I just squished my lantern into the gear loft and it worked okay for some lighting at night. I rain tested this Mountain Ultra tent first against pretty heavy rain, which looked like this. It rained like this for about an hour, and after that the rain became more of a light to moderate rain, which looked like this. This continued for many hours, even into the night. So at night, after 1 hour of heavy rain as well as 5 hours of light to moderate rain, I checked the tent and found that there was not a single drop of water inside the tent. The next morning, after another 7 hours of rain, the tent was still completely dry. I checked all the corners again and again, but none of them let in a single drop of water. The flooring was also completely dry. I also checked the rain fly, and from the inside it was completely dry as well. For more details on this rain test, you can check out the full rain test video on my channel. As for wind, I didn't actually test it, but I noticed that it was able to hold up pretty well against light to moderate winds as long as it's fully staked out and guyed out. On rainy days, you do need the rainfly to be in place over the tent, which limits ventilation, but there are 2 built-in rainfly vents. There's one rainfly vent at the back of the tent which can be held open with a Velcro kickstand and accessed only from the outside of the tent. Thankfully, even though I left this vent open in the heavy rain, no water got into the tent from this vent. There's one more rainfly vent at the front of the tent. Just unzip the top of the vestibule a little bit and use this Velcro kickstand to hold the vestibule open slightly. I'd recommend shutting this vent in heavy rain, and luckily this can be accessed from the inside of the tent. One other thing I really liked about this tent is that the rainfly doesn't extend all the way to the ground, and I could feel a little bit of ventilation from the inside of the tent. At the same time, the rainfly still protects the tent really well, and notice that most of the rainfall drips straight to the ground without touching the black tent flooring too much. This is because in addition to the vestibule at the front, I could pull the rainfly away from the tent body at the back of the tent, which gives me a vent that measures about 9 inches in width from the outside, which is really nice. On a hot day without any rain, you can first remove the rainfly guy lines, stakes, and buckles and take the rainfly off entirely. Once you do so, you'll find that more than 3/4 of the Mountain Ultra tent is made from mesh. On the widths of the tent, anything above this is made from mesh. On the lengths of the tent, anything above this is also made from mesh. I absolutely love this because it's really well ventilated on hot days and also great for stargazing at night because you basically get almost unblocked views. As for quality, the tent body is made of 150D polyester Oxford and the rainfly is made of 66D 3mm ripstop. I found these materials to be high quality and I was very happy with it, especially for the price that I paid. After many hours of rain, no water seeped through the rainfly or any of the fabric. The mesh is B3 FR micro mesh. It feels really smooth and silky. The holes of the mesh are really small and it was able to keep out every single bug for me. The pole is made of aluminum and it's really easy to put together. The stitching all around the tent is really consistent and double stitched with no loose threads at all, plus the seam taping at the corners of the flooring and under the rainfly are very thorough. I don't think the zippers are branded, but they're very smooth. Here's me zipping open and shut the vestibule from both the outside and the inside, and also the door from the outside and the inside. As you can tell, there are no snags at all. For portability, this Mountain Ultra 1-person tent has a packed size of 22 by 7 by 6 inches. For a size comparison, here's what it looks like beside a Coleman 2-person Sundome tent, as well as a 32-ounce Nalgene bottle. The carry bag comes with a nice shoulder strap for easy carry, and it weighs just slightly over 4 pounds for everything. For pros, I found this Mountain Ultra 1-person tent to be incredibly high quality for the price that I paid. I paid only about $100 for this tent, and it even comes with a generous lifetime warranty. On top of that, I also found the setup to be incredibly easy. The setup comes with just a single orange pole, so you can't really get it wrong when putting it together. There's also color coding with red webbing on one corner, while the other 3 corners are black. The pole clips are really user-friendly and easy to clip on and take off. And you can easily secure the rainfly with these super quick buckles. The takedown is also equally easy. The carry bag is the perfect size and it was super easy to slide everything back in. And that's not all. Another humongous pro to this tent is the incredible waterproofing. I didn't add any additional waterproofing myself, and this tent held up to not just 1 hour of heavy rain, but more than 12 hours of light to moderate rain as well, without a single drop of water getting into the tent. Rainy day ventilation is also decent, while hot day ventilation is simply fantastic with lots of mesh everywhere. On top of that, when I slept in this tent, I didn't experience any condensation. I also found this Mountain Ultra 1-person tent plenty spacious for myself. I really enjoyed the high peak height and vertical sidewalls on the 2 lengths of the tent. However, and now we're moving into the cons, this means that this tent will catch wind a little more easily than tents with a lower profile and less vertical walls. So I recommend fully staking and guying out this tent if you expect any wind. Also, I would have liked to stake down the two widths of the tent, because now the rain fly is at most just 2 inches away from the tent body. I think the bigger versions of this tent can be staked down at the widths of the tent. And also, if you're tall like 5'10", 5'11", or 6 foot and above, you might want to upgrade to a larger version like this 2-person Mountain Ultra tent, and I also have a review on this on my channel. And the next 2 points aren't really cons, but just bear these in mind. First, because of all the mesh built into this tent, it's not going to be great for cold weather. And second, this tent doesn't come with a footprint. Although the instructions say that the footprint is provided, I think Teton Sports has done away with the free footprint for a couple of years now. But even without the footprint, I still think that this Mountain Ultra 1-person tent is worth way more than what I paid for it, and it's easily one of the best tents out there for the price. If you can find a better tent for the price, do let me know, and I'd love to check it out. Until then, I highly recommend this Mountain Ultra tent for its value for money. To check out how this tent compares to other similar tents on the market, check out this video right here on the screen. I'll put it up when it's ready, so do check it out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see ya in the next one.